Hello and welcome to World News Today. US Defense Secretary Mark Esper has offered a review of the screening process for foreign military in the US after a Saudi soldier carried out a deadly attack at a Florida Navy base. The gunman, who was training at the Pensacola site, killed 3 people, including Mohammed Samah Haitem, here on the left, he was 19, and Joshua Caleb Watson, who was 23. And a 21-year-old Cameron Scott Walters was also killed. The gunman wounded 8 other people before he was shot dead himself. There have been reports in the US media that he played videos of mass shootings at a dinner party the night before the attack. The FBI says it's investigating with a presumption that it was an act of terrorism, but made it clear they were still trying to determine a motive.
We are, as we do in most active shooter investigations, work with the presumption that this was an act of terrorism. This allows us to take advantage of investigative techniques that can help us more quickly identify and then eliminate any additional potential threats to the rest of our community. As we have stated multiple times, our investigation has not led us to any information that indicates any credible threat to our community.
Well, let's get the latest on this with our correspondent Chris Buckler in Washington. Chris, we are, of course, only 2 days on from this attack, but bring us up to speed with what we know about the man behind it.
Yeah, the FBI is deliberately being very careful in what they say. And actually that news conference, if anything, they were very cautious. But clearly they're investigating the motive for this attack by 21-year-old Mohammed al-Shamrani. He was a second lieutenant in the Saudi Royal Air Force, and he was training on this site in Pensacola in Florida. Now, he was there and he actually shot people inside a classroom building, and there will be 2 investigations taking place. First of all, how did he manage to get onto the base with a handgun? Because that is not normally allowed unless people have their gun or their weapon as part of their daily duties. And then secondly, they are looking into his background. And perhaps we got more information today from the US Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who started to talk about the fact that they were questioning other Saudi individuals on the base to try and find out more details about him. They were questioning those Saudi individuals not least because it seems that 1 or 2 of them, according to Mr. Esper, had filmed some of this shooting. Now, it's not clear exactly when they started filming it, but that could also provide evidence for people going forward. And clearly there is concern in America. Some politicians demanding that there will be a proper review of vetting procedures because something seems to have been missed here.
And let's rewind slightly. Why were these individuals, why are these soldiers, these Saudi soldiers, at a US base specifically?
Well, the fact is that the Saudi Arabia forces are regarded as an ally of America. Indeed, they are a very important ally as far as the US is concerned in the Middle East. And there has been this long arrangement in which Saudi forces are able to come and train along with other members of other military that are allied to America. It has a number of international students. I think they mentioned on Friday something like a couple of 100 people from other military forces are actually there on this base at any one time as aviation students, and that seems to have been what al-Shamrani was doing on this base at this particular time. But if you listen to the likes of Lindsey Graham, who's a pretty influential Republican senator, he is saying that something has gone badly wrong here, and it is time to start to look at just how this operation and this program works. And perhaps that is an indication they want to go far beyond vetting procedures. President Trump has also been very careful to try and dampen down concerns about this to some extent by talking about the fact that he has been in contact with King Salman of Saudi Arabia, who has condemned this attack and says that it is something that has been abhorrent to the people of Saudi Arabia. But again, just to get back to this individual, al-Shamrani seems to have posted some messages on social media, according to US media reports. And again, that is going to be a focus for FBI investigators. They've made clear that they're taking a presumption of terrorism at this stage, partly because it allows them to carry out other investigative techniques. But there will be people asking questions about the motive going